Now today in the battle arena, we got King Kong, the big guy from the Peter Jackson movie, going up against a Skullcrawler from Kong Skull Island. So who's coming out on top here? Who wins? Let's find out. Alright, so we all know that the big old Kong can easily take out the little baby Skullcrawlers. So instead, we're going with the more traditional King Kong, the one from the Peter Jackson movie. Still a massive ape, still ruler of Skull Island, except this time, instead of fighting Skullcrawlers, he was kept busy fighting dinosaurs, being worshipped by the natives. So in 2005, Peter Jackson decided to make King Kong in the more traditional sense, where he's just a large, regular silverback gorilla, which would put him around 25 feet tall, at least in a crouched position. We really don't know exactly how tall he is when he's standing up. But even if this Kong is a bit smaller, doesn't mean that he's not strong. Kong is able to shake and break trees just by moving besides them. He's casually flipped over massive stone structures or giant logs, and easily broke through a large wooden gate. Now, while that's all fine and good, that's all real impressive, probably Kong's most applicable feats are going to be when he made it over to New York City, started wrecking havoc in the streets. He destroyed the theater he was being held inside of, broke through the outside of that building, and destroyed plenty of cars and jumped on top of crushed military vehicles. He even managed to throw around airplanes, rip them in half. But on the other hand, well, the Skullcrawler is the devil from below, and he's incredibly strong too. They're able to destroy a big old dinosaur skull, just shatter it to pieces. Then it was also able to send dudes just flying. Just absolutely flying. All in all though, I do think King Kong is still stronger. I mean, we've just seen him do more stuff. Just seen him flex his muscles and throw his weight around more. You can't really say the same for durability, though. I mean, yeah, Kong was able to take all those bites from the V-Rexes. He was able to take some light gunfire. But he was famously brought down by those biplanes. And to be fair to Kong, it did take plenty of shots to bring him down. But still, those were 1920s biplanes, 1920s guns. A whole lot weaker than aircraft fire going on nowadays. And then on the other hand, well, you've got the Skullcrawler. And Kong was injured and killed by all those bullets. Well, the Skullcrawler wasn't fazed in the slightest. He was completely unharmed by all sorts of gunfire. Unharmed by literal fire too. And I just like to see King Kong survive that attack. I don't think he would. And then finally, we've got speed and agility. Believe it or not, King Kong is actually really fast and agile. On top of that, he uses that speed and agility a whole lot in a fight. Like, look at King Kong's fight against the 3 V-Rexes. These dinosaurs were alpha predators on Skull Island. Were larger, faster, and stronger than their descendant, the T-Rex. And it's hypothesized that these beasts are what the T-Rex could have been if it were allowed to grow and evolve unabated for the past 65 million years. Yet Kong is able to battle against 3 of them at once, generally doing this by relying on his speed and agility, leaping and dodging and ducking and holding them all at bay until he could take them down. To make it even more impressive, King Kong did all of this while defending Anne, holding her in one of his limbs at all times. Kong was even able to make the transition to the city quite easily too, even managing to evade military gunfire while he was at it. But man, oh man, the Skullcrawler is freaking fast also. I mean, the big guy was running all around, taking on an army. Even grabbed a dude out of the air with its tongue. It was super fast. It's also really smart. A whole lot smarter than those V-Rexes that King Kong was taking on in the other movie. I mean, pretty stealthy. We've seen that play out a couple times. They're even smart enough to work together and tag team Kong, although that didn't really work out too well for them. And so here's the question on the table. Which one's the bigger advantage? Kong's strength and his grappling and his savagery and almost just his skill, or the Skullcrawler's durability and speed and its savagery too? God, it's hard. It's really hard. But I think I'm gonna have to hand it over to King Kong. They're around the same size. I think he's stronger. But more important than all of that, he's fought against plenty of monsters like this in the past. One Skullcrawler might be more powerful than one V-Rex, but I'd say that 3 V-Rexes equals one Skullcrawler at least. And Kong was dominating that fight. And dominating it while still protecting Anne. Man, I love this fight. I think it'd be so cool to see this one actually play out. But with everything I've laid out, I think King Kong will come out victorious. King Kong wins. But what do y'all think? I would love to hear your thoughts. Who do you think wins this fight? King Kong or a Skullcrawler? Which fight do you want to see next? Sign off down below. Also, be sure that like button, the subscribe button, and turn notifications from the DanCo army. And I will see y'all next time.